Right. So today we are going on a deep dive.
A deep dive.
Yeah, into the world of personality frameworks.
Oh, cool.
We're talking Big Five, MBTI, Enneagram, all those systems you've probably
heard of. Yeah.
but maybe never really fully grasped, Like, why is the MBTI so popular, especially on social media?
Right.
When the Big Five is scientifically way more sound.
Yeah.
And then there's the Enneagram. It's huge for personal growth, even though it doesn't have
a ton of research.
Ton of traditional research backing it up. So that's what we're going to untangle today.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like each of these systems gives you a different lens to view this really complex thing that we call personality.
Right. Okay. So before we get too far into it, let's just start with the basics.
Okay.
Look, what is personality?
So at its core, personality is that unique blend of characteristics, traits, and behaviors that make you you. Exactly. Like a fingerprint.
Oh, okay.
No twos are exactly alike.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about are you a people person? It's more.
It's your whole vibe.
Your whole vibe.
Your temperament.
Yeah.
How you think your go-to reaction.
Solely. The whole shebang. And then on top of that, this vibe.
Right.
It's shaped by both nature and nurture.
Exactly.
So it's always evolving, kind of like the personal mixtape, almost.
Ooh, I like that.
That you and life are both adding tracks to.
I love that analogy.
Okay, cool. So let's dig into the first framework we're going to talk about.
Okay.
The Big Five. This is the one that's considered the most scientifically valid.
The most scientifically sound, yes.
Okay.
So the Big Five breaks down personality into 5 core dimensions.
Okay.
Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
Got it.
And the really cool thing about it, it doesn't put you in a box. It recognizes that most people fall somewhere in between the extremes.
Okay, so it's like a scale, a spectrum.
It is, it's a spectrum.
Rather than a yes or no kind of thing.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's fluid.
Okay, so let's break these down one by one. What does it actually look like to be high or low in each of these things?
Well, let's start with openness.
Okay.
So imagine someone who's always drawn to new experiences.
Okay.
Whether it's trying new foods, exploring different cultures, or just diving into a book on a completely unfamiliar topic.
Yeah.
That's high openness in action.
Got it.
So adventure, curiosity, adaptability. Those are all hallmarks of high openness.
That makes sense. And on the other side of that, then, if you're lower in openness, maybe you're more comfortable with routine.
Routine, familiarity, practical solutions, sticking to what you know.
Got it.
Which is totally fine.
Totally.
There's no judgment here.
Okay, cool.
It's just different ways of approaching the world.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, how about conscientiousness?
Okay, let's hear it.
Imagine that friend who's always impeccably organized.
Oh, yeah.
Never misses a deadline.
The color-coded planner.
Yes. Practically lives by their color-coded planner.
Yeah.
That's high conscientiousness.
Got it.
Reliable, responsible, prepared.
Yeah, they get stuff done.
They do.
Yeah.
And someone who's low in this might be more spontaneous.
Right.
Maybe a little less reliable when it comes to those deadlines.
Yeah.
A little more flexible, go with the flow.
Okay, cool.
Now, what about extroversion?
Okay, yeah.
Picture the life of the party.
Oh, yeah?
The person who thrives in social settings, seems to know everyone in the room.
Yeah.
They radiate energy. They love connecting with others.
Yeah.
Classic extrovert.
And then there's the other end of the spectrum, the introverts.
The introverts.
I think it's important to say being introverted doesn't mean you're shy.
Right. Exactly.
Or antisocial.
It's just where you draw your energy from. So introverts, they often prefer deeper, more meaningful interactions.
Okay.
Over those big social gatherings.
Got it.
And they may need a little solo time
to
recharge after being around a lot of people.
Totally. Okay. What about agreeableness?
Agreeableness.
What does it look like to be?
So think of the friend who's always there to lend a listening ear.
Yeah.
Empathizes deeply with others.
Yeah.
Strives to create harmony in their relationships. They're avoiding conflict.
Okay.
They go the extra mile to make sure everyone feels heard and respected.
Those are the people you just
feel good being around.
Feel good being around, yeah.
They make you feel supported.
Seen, supported, yes.
Yeah.
And someone lower in agreeableness might be more assertive.
Okay.
More direct, sometimes even coming across as blunt.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean they're unkind.
Yeah.
It's just a different communication style.
Different style, right?
Valuing honesty and straightforwardness.
Got it. And last but not least,
we have neuroticism.
Neuroticism.
I feel like this one can be kind of complicated.
It can be. It is essentially a measure of emotional stability.
Okay.
So imagine someone who is prone to worry, gets stressed easily, experiences frequent mood swings.
Right.
That would be indicative of high neuroticism.
So then on the other end of that, they're just more even-keeled?
Even-keeled, resilient, able to kind of handle stress without getting completely thrown off balance.
And they bounce back from setbacks more easily?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. That makes sense.
And again, it's important to remember with all of these big 5 traits, there's no good or bad.
Right.
It's about understanding your own unique profile, how it influences your experiences.
Got it. Okay, so let's move on to one that has taken over the internet, it seems.
Yes.
The MBTI.
The MBTI.
The Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs type indicator.
It's like everyone is talking about these 4-letter codes.
I know. It's everywhere. It's gained so much popularity.
Holy.
Although it's based on some pretty old school psychology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by Carl Jung.
Okay.
His work laid the foundation for these 16 personality types.
Oh, interesting that we see.
Okay, so tell me about these 16 types.
Okay.
How are they actually figured out?
So the MBTI is all about identifying your preferences across 4 key dichotomies. Which basically means pairs of opposite preferences.
So less of a spectrum, more like choosing a side.
Exactly. You're choosing a side.
Okay, got it.
So the first one is extroversion versus introversion.
Which we just talked about.
Which we touched on with the big 5.
Right.
Then there's sensing versus intuition.
Okay.
Sensing types focus on concrete details, facts.
Okay.
Intuitive types are drawn to abstract concepts, patterns, possibilities.
So sensing, like good at remembering detail?
Yes, names, dates.
Okay.
While intuitive, they're seeing the big picture.
Okay, I like that.
Connecting seemingly unrelated ideas.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then we have thinking versus feeling.
Right.
Thinking types value logic, objectivity when making decisions.
Okay.
Feeling types are guided by their values, emotions, and how their choices impact others.
So thinking, like analyzing data.
Yes, data analysis.
Okay.
Impartial judgment.
Got it.
Feeling is more focused on
harmony,
taking everyone's feelings into account.
Okay. And then the last dichotomy.
Last one, judging versus perceiving.
Okay.
Which is about how you approach the outside world.
Okay.
Judging types prefer structure, organization.
Okay.
Making plans.
Got it.
Perceiving types are spontaneous.
Right.
Adaptable. They prefer to keep their options open.
So judging, like list makers, routine, love that.
Yes, love a good list.
And perceiving.
Go with the flow.
More go with the flow.
Keep it flexible.
Yeah. Okay.
And the combination of these 4 preferences results in 16 distinct personality types.
So that's where those 4-letter codes come from.
That's it. Each with its own unique set of strengths.
Okay, so much insight from just 4 letters, but how reliable is it?
That's a great question.
Like, it's fun, but is it really scientifically sound?
You know, it's a valuable tool for self-discovery.
Okay.
But we need to acknowledge its limitations.
Right.
It's a bit oversimplified.
Okay.
Doesn't quite capture that nuance of personality that we see in the Big 5 model.
So, a good conversation starter.
Yes.
A fun way to explore your preferences.
Yeah.
But maybe not the be-all and end-all.
Exactly. It's about using the right tool for the right job.
Right. Okay, so the last framework we're going to talk about is the Enneagram.
The Enneagram, yes.
And this one takes a totally different approach.
Yeah.
What makes it so different?
So the Enneagram focuses on our core motivations, our fears, and our worldviews.
Okay.
Essentially, the why behind our actions.
So less about what you do.
Exactly.
More about why you do it.
It goes beyond just describing behaviors and digs into the underlying drivers of personality.
I like that. That's powerful.
It's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
The Enneagram identifies 9 interconnected personality types.
9.
9.
Okay.
Each with its own set of strengths, weaknesses, and core desires.
Interesting.
And they're interconnected in a way that allows for growth and transformation.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Let's do a quick rundown of these 9 types.
Right.
Starting with type 1, the reformer.
The reformer.
What are they all about?
They're driven by a deep desire to make the world a better place.
Okay.
They have a strong sense of right and wrong and are constantly striving for improvement, both in themselves and their surroundings.
So idealistic, always pushing for positive change.
Absolutely. But that fear of being corrupt or defective can lead to perfectionism and being a little critical.
So their idealism makes it hard to accept imperfection.
In themselves and others.
Makes sense. Okay, type 2.
Type 2, the helper.
What are they like?
Warm, generous individuals who find fulfillment in caring for others, building strong relationships. They have a deep need to feel loved and appreciated. But their fear of being unwanted can lead them to prioritize others' needs above their own.
So they're the caregivers.
The caregivers.
But maybe struggle with boundaries.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, how about type 3?
Type 3, the achiever.
The achiever, okay.
Ambitious, driven, thrive on success and recognition. Often high achievers in their chosen fields. But their fear of failure can make them overly focused on appearances.
So go-getters, striving for the top.
Yes.
But maybe at the cost of, like...
Authentic self-expression.
Authentic self-expression, yeah. Okay, what about type 4?
Type 4, the individualist. They are creative, introspective. They value authenticity, deep emotional connection, driven by a need to express their unique identity, to experience life fully.
Got it.
But their fear of being inadequate can lead to moodiness and a tendency to withdraw.
So the artists, the poets, the deep feelers.
Exactly.
But maybe sensitive to the ups and downs of life.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, type 5.
Type 5, the investigator.
Okay.
Curious, insightful, driven by a thirst for knowledge. They value independence and competence.
Got it.
But their fear of being overwhelmed by the world can lead to isolation.
So the thinkers, the researchers, always seeking knowledge, but maybe struggling to connect on an emotional level.
Sometimes.
Okay, type 6.
Type 6, the loyalist. Responsible, committed, value security, trust, and belonging. They need support and guidance.
Got it.
But that fear of being abandoned can lead to anxiety.
So dependable, always there for you.
Yes.
But maybe struggle with self-doubt.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, how about type 7?
Type 7, the enthusiast.
The enthusiast.
Spontaneous, fun-loving. They approach life with adventure and optimism, driven by a desire for new experiences, positive emotions.
I like that.
But their fear of pain or boredom can make them scattered. Avoidant of difficult feelings.
The life of the party, always up for a good time.
Exactly.
But maybe avoiding negativity keeps them from facing tough stuff.
Sometimes.
Okay, type 8.
Type 8, the challenger.
Challenger.
Strong, assertive, value honesty, justice, protecting the vulnerable.
I like that.
Driven by a need for control and autonomy. But their fear of being controlled can make them domineering.
So the protectors, standing up for what they believe in. But maybe that need for control makes vulnerability hard.
It can be a struggle.
Okay, and the last one, type 9.
Type 9, the peacemaker.
The peacemaker.
Easygoing, agreeable, value harmony and connection. They have a need for inner peace and stability. But that fear of conflict can lead them to suppress their own needs.
So mediators, creating peace in relationships. But maybe avoiding conflict keeps them from saying what they really feel.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay, wow, that was a lot of information.
It's a lot to take in.
But I'm already seeing myself
and
other people in these descriptions.
It's amazing how even a brief overview can spark that recognition. And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right, it feels like we've opened a door to a whole new world.
I know, it's exciting.
But before we get too far into that, let's just take a step back. Look at how all 3 of these frameworks connect to each other.
All right.
Where do we see overlaps?
So one of the most obvious connections is between the Big Five's extroversion and introversion. And the MBTI's preference for extroversion or introversion. They're both addressing that core part of how we interact with the world.
Right, where we get our energy.
Exactly. But the Big Five puts you on a spectrum. While the MBTI categorizes you as one or the other.
So you could be high in extroversion on the Big Five, which would align with like being an ENFP on the MBTI.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And while there are correlations between Big Five traits and MBTI preferences, they're not direct equivalents.
Okay.
For example, the MBTI doesn't have a direct match for neuroticism.
Oh, interesting.
From the big five.
Okay, so different lenses for similar ideas.
Different lenses, exactly.
Got it. What about the MBTI and the Enneagram?
Okay, so the MBTI and the Enneagram can actually be pretty complementary.
Oh.
When used together.
How so?
They offer different but interconnected perspectives that can deepen our understanding.
Okay.
For example, there are correlations between certain Enneagram types and MBTI profiles.
So if you know both, it gives you a more holistic view.
A more holistic and nuanced view.
Yeah.
So type 1, the reformer, often associated with ISTJ or ESTJ.
Because they're both like really into structure.
Yes. Conscientiousness, doing things the right way.
Yeah. And like type 4, the individualist.
Often linked to INFP or INFJ.
Because they're both driven by authenticity.
Authenticity, deep meaning.
Right.
Self-expression.
Got it. So even though these systems are different, they can kind of intersect and give us a richer understanding.
It's amazing to see those intersections.
Yeah.
And how they provide a more nuanced perspective.
Like having multiple maps of the same area.
I love that.
Yeah.
Each one showing something a little different.
Yeah, okay, so the main takeaway here.
Yes.
It's about recognizing patterns.
Yeah.
Not putting yourself in a box.
Exactly.
These frameworks are meant to help us explore our strengths.
Yes.
Understand our challenges.
Yeah.
And ultimately grow.
Absolutely.
And they can be super valuable for self-awareness.
Yes.
Personal growth.
Totally.
And just navigating relationships better.
It's all about understanding.
Yeah.
And using that understanding to connect better.
Right. They can help us communicate more effectively.
Communication.
See different perspectives.
Yeah.
Even make better choices.
At careers, relationships.
About our careers, our relationships.
Yeah.
And speaking of resources.
Yes.
There are some really great tools out there.
There are.
To help us dive deeper into all of this.
Like Personality NFT.
Personality NFT, yeah.
They offer a wide range of tests, resources.
Oh, cool.
Even AI-powered insights to guide you on this journey.
That sounds amazing. Tell me more about that.
So one of the best places to start is their website.
Okay.
You can find descriptions of each framework, take quizzes, and even explore how different types interact with each other.
So if you're curious about your own personality
Yeah.
or just how these systems work.
Their website is a great place to start.
Okay, cool. And they also have a big online community.
A vibrant online community
Yeah.
where you can connect with others who are passionate about this stuff.
That's cool. A built-in support system.
Exactly.
And then you mentioned AI-powered insights.
Right.
How do those work?
So Personality NFT has developed some cutting-edge AI agents that can provide personalized guidance.
Wow.
Based on your specific personality profile.
So it's like a personalized coach.
It's like having a coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
Who understands your strengths, your challenges, even your blind spots.
That's incredible.
It is.
I'm going to have to check that out.
I should.
Okay, so it seems like Personality NFT has created a really amazing platform.
They have.
For anyone who's interested in this stuff.
It's a treasure trove of information and resources.
Cool. So just to wrap up this first part.
Yes.
We've explored 3 powerful frameworks.
We have.
Big 5, MBTI, Enneagram. All offering unique perspectives on human behavior.
So much to think about.
Right. Yeah. And we've seen how these frameworks can help us understand ourselves.
Or our relationships.
Our careers.
Yeah, make better choices.
It's all about empowerment.
Totally. And if you're ready to go even deeper,
I
highly recommend checking out Personality NFT.
That's a great resource. They've got everything you need to figure out your own personality type.
Connect with others.
Connect with other people.
Unlock your potential.
Yeah, unlock your full potential.
That's the goal.
I love that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We spend so much time trying to put ourselves and other people into these neat little categories.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we're way more complex than any label can really capture.
Oh, totally. I mean,
right.
These frameworks are more like starting points.
Starting points, yeah.
A language to talk about personality, but it's not the whole story.
It's like saying, okay, this is the general terrain.
Yeah.
But your journey through it is going to be totally unique.
Right. And that's where it gets interesting.
Exactly.
Because knowing our type is one thing. Yeah.
But how do we actually use this knowledge?
That's the big question.
Yeah. How can it actually make a difference?
Well, think about your relationships.
Okay.
Understanding your own personality and the personalities of the people you're close to can be huge.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you know you're more introverted and your partner's super extroverted.
Right.
You can be more intentional about giving each other the space you need.
Exactly. You can adjust, be more understanding.
Totally. Or like at work, if you realize your boss is super conscientious, you can tailor your communication to be more detail-oriented.
Right. Organized, prepared.
Exactly. And that can just make things run smoother.
Absolutely. Smoother collaborations.
So not just self-awareness. It's using that awareness to navigate our interactions better.
Exactly. It's about applying that knowledge.
Yeah. And I think it can also be really helpful for personal growth.
Oh, definitely.
Like once you understand your motivations, your blind spots, your weaknesses.
You can work on those areas where you might be holding yourself back.
Totally. It's like having a roadmap.
Oh, I like that.
For self-improvement.
Yeah, a roadmap.
You know where you want to go. And you can use these frameworks to figure out the best path to get there.
Totally. So for example, let's say you find out you're a type 6 on the Enneagram.
Okay, the loyalist.
Yeah, and you realize that need for security is really important to you. That can help you understand your anxieties.
Right.
And find ways to build trust and resilience.
Exactly. It's about leveraging that knowledge.
Totally. Or like if you realize you're low in agreeableness.
Okay.
Which can sometimes make you come across as a little rough around the edges.
A little blunt?
Yeah, you can work on being more empathetic, more mindful of how your words affect people.
Absolutely. It's about growth.
Yeah, and it's not about changing who you are at your core.
Right.
It's more about recognizing your tendencies.
Yeah.
And using them in a way that works for you.
Exactly. Playing to your strengths.
Right, because each personality type has its own strengths.
Oh, absolutely.
Like people high in neuroticism, they might be prone to anxiety, but they're also often really insightful and aware of potential problems.
They see things others might miss.
Right, so it's all about reframing those so-called weaknesses.
Exactly, turning them into assets.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about how understanding these frameworks can help us in our relationships, personal growth, even at work. But where do we even start?
Right.
There's so much information out there.
It can feel overwhelming.
It can be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
So where do we begin?
Well, taking personality tests is a great first step. Okay. And there are some really good resources online.
Yeah.
Like Personality NFT.
Personality NFT, yeah.
They offer a variety of assessments based on all the frameworks we've talked about.
That's awesome. They have that great community, too.
Yeah, supportive community.
Yeah.
Where you can connect with others.
Right, so you're not on this journey alone.
Exactly. You can learn from each other's experiences.
I like that. And it's not just about taking tests and joining groups.
Right.
You can learn a lot just by observing yourself.
Observation is key.
Yeah. Pay attention to how you react to things.
How you communicate.
Yeah.
How you make decisions.
Yeah, notice those patterns in your own behavior.
And in the behavior of others.
Right, it's like becoming a detective of human behavior.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And the more you observe, the more those aha moments will start to happen.
Those moments of recognition.
Yeah.
That's where the magic happens.
Totally. It's like you see these frameworks coming to life.
In your own life.
Right, in your own experiences.
Exactly.
Okay, before we move on, I have to ask about those AI agents again.
Oh, yeah.
They sound so cool.
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah, tell me more about how they can actually help people.
Okay, so imagine having this personalized guide who can give you insights tailored to your specific personality.
Wow.
That's what these AI agents do. Right. They use cutting-edge tech to analyze your personality data.
Yeah.
And give you custom recommendations.
So it's like having a personal development coach.
Right, in your pocket.
Yeah, in your pocket.
Exactly.
That's incredible. And how do people access that?
Well, Personality NFT has built them right into their platform.
Oh, cool.
So once you've taken the tests and created a profile, you unlock access to these personalized AI insights.
That's awesome, like a bonus feature.
It's a fantastic resource.
Yeah.
They're really committed to providing these innovative tools.
I love that. This has been so eye-opening.
Me too.
Feels like we've just scratched the surface.
There's always more to learn.
But you've given us so much to think about.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and remember, this journey of self-discovery is ongoing.
It never ends.
Right, there's always more to learn.
New insights to uncover.
Yeah, and with the right tools and resources like Personality NFT.
Yeah.
This whole process of understanding ourselves and each other.
It can be an adventure.
It can be a really exciting adventure.
It is. It's interesting, as we're talking about all these different systems, it really highlights how much they reveal about our values.
It's true.
Yeah.
You can almost see someone's values reflected in their personality type.
Yeah, like if someone's really high in agreeableness, they probably value harmony in their relationships.
Absolutely.
Right, and someone who's super conscientious,
they
probably put a lot of emphasis on hard work.
Responsibility,
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It is. It's like These underlying values really shape how we see the world.
How we interact with the world, yeah.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder.
What's that?
If those values are, like, fixed.
Or if they can change over time.
Right. Like, can we actually choose to prioritize different things as we grow?
Yeah. Do you think that's possible?
I think it's definitely possible.
Okay.
I mean, we gain new experiences, new perspectives.
Right.
Things shift, our priorities shift.
And maybe that's part of what makes personal growth so fascinating.
I think so.
It's not just about who we are now.
It's about who we can become.
Exactly, that potential for change.
Yeah, and these frameworks can help us see that potential.
Right. They give us a way to identify areas where we might want to grow.
Absolutely, like a roadmap.
Okay, so speaking of growth,
yeah,
what are some things our listeners can do to actually apply this stuff to their lives?
Well, one of the most important things is to become more self-aware.
Okay, how do we do that?
Pay attention to your patterns.
Yeah.
Notice how you react to different situations, how you communicate, what motivates you, what stresses you out.
So just like really observe yourself.
Observe yourself, yes. And as you become more aware of those patterns, you can start to make more conscious choices.
So it's like you're in control.
You're taking the reins.
Yeah.
You're not just reacting, you're actively shaping your experience.
I like that. And once you're more self-aware, you can start experimenting with different approaches.
Totally.
Right. So like if you know you tend to avoid conflict,
okay,
maybe try speaking up more assertively.
In a safe and healthy way, of course.
Of course, yeah. Or if you're more introverted,
right,
maybe try pushing yourself to go to that social event.
Stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about finding that balance.
Right. Honoring who you are.
But also challenging yourself to grow.
Totally. And I think it's important to remember.
What's that?
Growth isn't always linear.
Oh, absolutely.
There are going to be bumps along the way.
Setbacks, challenges.
Yeah, but that's part of the journey.
It's all part of the process.
Right. And it makes it more rewarding.
It does.
And as you're going through that, don't be afraid to retake those personality tests.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because our personalities aren't static.
They change, they evolve.
Exactly. And those changes, they're all part of what makes us human.
That's beautifully said.
Yeah. And it reminds us that there's always more to learn.
About ourselves, about others.
Yeah. And the more we understand about personality, the more we can appreciate all the different ways of being.
The beautiful diversity of human experience.
I love that. This has been such a great conversation.
I've enjoyed it too.
I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
There's always more to explore.
But it's given us so much to think about.
I hope so.
And if anyone wants to go even deeper, check out Personality NFT.
They have so many resources.
Tests, tools, community forums, those AI agents we talked about.
It's all there.
It's an amazing platform for anyone who's on that journey of self-discovery.
It really is.
So go explore, connect with others,
and
embrace this amazing world of personality. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into personality frameworks.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another exploration into the world of human behavior